Hey, Ananian The Car Doctor. We're in the shop today. I've got a 2008 Jeep Grand Cherokee behind me. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. We're working on a check engine light with this vehicle. It has a P0455 and P0456. So that's evaporative emissions. That's the old, gee, I've got a gas cap or a bad gas cap fault, which it is in this case, but that's what everybody kind of jumps to. So we're going to talk a little bit about diagnostics. I'm going to show you the failure. I'm not going to show you where the part was because we've talked about this before. I just want you to see what the flow of diagnostics was and how things go bad. This is the ESIM. This is Chrysler's version of a vent valve. All right. There's a plunger style shutoff valve in there. We've talked about this before in other videos. All right. And I changed it. And I'll show you why I changed it. This was a real good failure. I just want to talk a little bit about the method we used. Of course, we've got our speed smoke here, courtesy of the folks over at Redline Detection. And, the more we use it, the more we like it, if that's possible, because we really love this machine, and the more we learn from it, okay? Because it shows us things along the way that we didn't think of before. It's a very well-balanced unit. So we're tapped in to the line going back to the tank, right? Here's the purge. Here's the purge valve. I tested this. How did I test the purge valve? Anybody remember real quick? I electrically unplugged it. I checked for vacuum. Right, I left the vacuum going into the top port of the purge down here, and I had nothing on the other side. I had that line open, right? My rubber glove, I wet it. I didn't feel any suction there with it electrically disconnected and vacuum being applied, engine running, obviously. I shouldn't have anything there, and I didn't. Purge valve passes for the purpose of my test because I'm looking for a leak issue, not a performance issue, right? P0455, P0456 are large and small evap leaks. So I started smoking the system via the speed smoke and tapped into the line that feeds the rest of it. Got all the way to the back of the vehicle, all right, and I heard a hissing sound using a stethoscope. Yeah, I know. It's the simple tools, right? And I listened up and around the ESIM, up and around Chrysler's vent valve, and I hear a rush of air. At first I thought the seal had failed because that's a common thing too. This seal sits right here on the valve, all right, up against the charcoal canister. So I ordered an ESIM and a seal, waiting to take it down until parts showed up because I knew it was somewhere up there. And then when I took it apart, you see it? You see the green corrosion? All right at the bottom of the electrical connector? That's about where I heard it with my stethoscope. There was this rush of air. So the ESIM itself corroded and blew a hole in the case and failed that way. So I've got a new one on there, all right? And of course, after the repair, gee, how do I know I've only got one problem? Well, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to hit the air button, right? Air only test. One thing you have to worry about with smoke machines is you keep pumping smoke through the system. Depending upon the basis of the smoke, you're putting a carbon-based material in through a system that has a charcoal canister in it that's trying to remove carbon as part of the process. You can saturate and overload the canister. The nice thing about the speed smoke, again, the things that are there that you don't realize until you use it for a while, they give you an air-only test. So we're going to apply the same amount of pressure to the system as if we were putting smoke in. I don't need smoke. I know where the problem was. All right, now I just want to see flow. And if you notice, on my evap flow meter, my little black P is all the way down at the bottom, meaning that, okay, my problem is fixed. So in confidence, I can return this vehicle back to the customer and say, let the monitor run, you're good to go. That's about it from here. I'm Ananian The Car Doctor. I'll see you guys on radio.
Did you miss this week's full broadcast of Ananian The Car Doctor? Or maybe you want to hear certain parts of it all over again. Well, it's easy to do. Once the show airs, it then becomes a podcast. You can find it through all major podcast players and media: iHeartMedia, Google, Amazon Music, Spotify, and so much more. Use your favorite search engine and ask for Ron Ananian Podcast. Watch what happens next. Need more Ron? That's okay. Look for Ron Ananian, available via podcast, wherever podcasts are found.